Do you guys realize that Robin at this point has cried for about 10 years and she's yet to perfect her ability to shed a real tear? I have mixed feelings about this one-on-one. I feel like there are things that we did learn that we didn't hear previously, but at this point, they're kind of dragging this out, especially because we still have not seen David. They've done exactly what a lot of us thought they were going to do, and they're going to save him for part 4, which is the last part of these one-on-one takes. I want to begin by asking, what sacrifices has Robin made? Because Kody loves to talk about the sacrifices that she's made, besides the fact that she slept with Kody. I know, I'm coming in hot. How dare I say this? But I'm seriously not trying to be rude, but I really want to know, because to me, it seems like from day one, the women and their children had to sacrifice for Kody and Robin and her kids. But the narrative is being changed. So let me go ahead and start off by saying welcome. Tisha here. Thanks for joining me. If you have not done so already, please like the video. I'm on the road to 1,000. Thank you guys so much. I put up a little comment on my board. We have officially reached the halfway mark, and I am so grateful. Okay, enough of me wasting your time. Let's get to what you came here for, which is the review. So we see the conversation that they had at Coyote Pass for the umpteenth time, where Meri and Kody basically parted ways, okay? Christine is seeing this and she is shocked at the fact that the good old bald eagle whisperer is there, and she isn't sure why she's there. Now, I'm not sure why Christine is surprised, because we already know that they've said, both Meri and Robin, that she speaks Kody. So of course she would be there for such an important conversation because she speaks Kody. Christine, like us, wants to know what is up with that whole statement that he made about what he promised Robin before getting married to her. Christine said he promised Robin he would leave, but has he considered Meri? Because for years, he's been saying that she was pathetic and he was letting her hang on, which goes back to us knowing that Kody has been talking crap with his wives about one another. And in this case, it was Meri, because Janelle has said it. And now here's Christine basically saying the same thing, that she knew that at some point Kody thought Meri was pathetic, and Janelle said that she knew at multiple points that Kody said that he wanted her to go. He didn't want to be with her. Now, her finding out that he didn't want to be married in a clip versus him telling her, according to Christine, had to be humiliating. One thing I like about Christine is, even though she does have her personal opinions about these women, some of which sometimes I agree with and some of which sometimes I don't, she does kind of empathize sometimes with what the women may be going through, right? So Christine feels bad that this wasn't told to her by Kody, that Meri had to figure this out by seeing the clip that she saw from last year's tell-all, right? So Meri feels like she deserved a conversation and to be told that he should have been man enough to let her know, like, look, I don't want to be with you. She doesn't feel that it was right for him to tell everyone but her. And Suki points out that, don't you think that he's been telling you all along based on his actions? This is the first time I said, okay, Suki, maybe you're going to get this in gear. Maybe you're not going to disappoint us, because you're going to get some things out, which she disappointed me. But, you know, at this point with Suki, we already know what we're in for. She said the problem that she had was he didn't hold on to the commitment that he had with her but he was willing to hold on to the commitment that he had with Robin because he hasn't fallen out of love with Robin the way that he has her. And Mary was trying to hold on because of her commitments. Kody says that Robin and he made an agreement that if they fell out of love, that they would free each other and that they would not remain with one another. And he did not make this agreement with Mary. I really believe that Kody was no longer in love with his wives when Robin came along. I don't know if it was something that she saw or if it was something that they discussed at some point, but the fact that out of all the things to talk about, they spoke about what would happen to them if they were no longer in love with each other, and she asked him to please not string her along, makes me feel like y'all were divulging some things to each other. I'm not saying that this isn't a conversation that you would have with a significant other. Yes, you would want to know, like, in the event of you wanting a divorce, would that be okay? Do you agree with it? Do not? These are conversations that you're going to have, yes. But this one seems a little sketchy to me. Y'all let me know what you think. He claims that he did tell all the other wives about this too, but even Mary, and she didn't like it. Now, me personally, I don't believe it, and I wish that Suki would have asked all the wives if he said that. If she did, TLC didn't show it. Janelle says that the fact that Mary needed to have Robin there for that conversation shows just how much of a problem that they have. That should have been a red flag to her, that she should not need someone else to be there in order to communicate with Kody. I agree. But the problem is, at this point, Mary has been programmed to believe that she needs Robin. And Robin has been advocating for her so much that I think that Mary feels like this is helping her, when really Mary doesn't realize that this is hindering her. She said, did you ever circle back to her until you didn't know if you could really make it work? That's what Suki said to Kody. And Kody said, yeah, but I don't want to go too deep into that because we talked about it. He said basically they talked about things. They kind of talked about how things weren't working, but he didn't go too deep into it because he did not want Mary to act crazy. He didn't want her reacting in a crazy way. And I wish Suki would have... Suki didn't ask him why he thinks Mary didn't receive the message, if that's the conversation that they had. Instead, wait, I'm messing this up. Oh, she asked, why do you think Mary didn't receive that message? Like, why do you think Mary didn't receive the message that you didn't want to be with her? And I just said, like, instead of saying that, she should have said, why did you think that Mary was going to act crazy? Like, what does crazy look like? I want her to call him out on his crap, because I want to know what he expected Mary to do. Did he think Mary was going to burn down the house? Or was he afraid that her being crazy was going to mean that she was going to cut him off from her funds? Or was she going to sue them for the money that they took from her, or the land that he's trying to take from her? Because it seems like they had no intentions of being a family with her. And she didn't call him out on what crazy was. And in that moment, I felt like she dropped the ball. That's what I was trying to say. So Kody said Robin and him give Mary different messages, that she wanted him to reconcile. And she was telling Mary to hold on and all these other things. Whereas he has been like, he doesn't want to do that. He said Robin has been their advocate from the time that they met, which goes back to me saying they were having problems, which we all know because Mary has admitted so in the book. They were having problems before Robin even entered into the family. So Mary acting surprised that Kody didn't want to be with her when this is something that's been going on for a long time, with her saying that he should have told me, that I've been patient because of my values and my heart and my commitment, and that's why I was still holding on, that she didn't know that he let go of her fully emotionally, and that she is now seeing, after all this time, that he let go of her emotionally a long time ago. I struggle with Mary and this, because Kody has shown her time and time again that he does not love or respect her. Even him bringing up that agreement while they're discussing her departure that he had with Robin, where he's like, you're telling me to hold on and you wouldn't want me to do this for you. Basically, the promise that he made, the covenant that he made with her. Him saying all of that in front of Mary was also disrespectful. The man does not care about Mary. Mary keeps saying that he didn't tell her to her face, but we've seen it on the show. Mary, you've watched the show. We know you watched the show because you responded about some of the things that you've seen in the tell-all. So did you not see what we saw? Because we saw it. She talks about the covenant that they made, and that the decision that when she made it, it meant something to her, where he's talking about the covenant that they made and how for him it doesn't include the dissolution of his soul or personality. What in the world is he talking about? Kody uses all these terminologies. He sometimes will put a little bit of psychology talk in there, some stuff he may have, you know, picked up from a therapy session to make himself sound like what he's saying is plausible or relevant or it makes sense. And he does not make sense. He says that the relationship with Mary does not work as a marriage for him. He does not care about it because the relationship cannot work. She doesn't want to be stuck in that. He doesn't want to be stuck in that because of his faith and his religion, and he just no longer wants to be unhappy. Which made me say to myself, I got a question, you all. Do you all think that Kody would have left Mary earlier if it had not been for this show? Because listening to him talk, even though he throws in religion here and there, I think it has nothing to do with religion. I think that what kept him with her for so long was finances and this show. I think that had he not been on national television, he wouldn't have been worried about what it would look like, the optics of it all, if he left Mary, especially telling us what he told us originally about their marriages being eternal. And I think that he would have done it a long time ago. Y'all let me know. After saying all the things that he said about her, taking his soul, and he's not going to trash talk her because he still loves her. I just feel like the lies are just rolling out because he still manages to put little digs in there, even though he's thinking that he's not. Before making the decision to walk away, Mary felt like she gave him a lot of grace. I don't think that Mary wanted to walk away. And I don't think if she didn't see that comment, well, we can't even say that. If he didn't tell her basically like, we're not going to be married. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to give you what you want. They didn't go out for their last anniversary and he wasn't finally honest with her about some things along with this clip. I don't think that she would walk away. As they're talking about Kody, she says that she hopes that he does find peace and joy because right now he just seems like he's in a different place. They then show clips of all the wives talking about how positive he used to be versus how he is now, because now he just seems to be angry and difficult and someone that they don't really know. They then show Janelle saying she doesn't know who this person is. He's very mean and he's a very angry person. As they show this clip, Janelle is laughing. She chimes in and says that was right after the fight. which makes me feel like I still think that Janelle will go back to him because she has this way sometimes of trying to fix things that she said. She still is protecting him. She still is watching how she words things. Example, that whole thing that Christine told us about him while they were on vacation, calling and wanting her to give him medicine when he knew that they were on vacation. And how she made it seem like he basically told her, never mind, stay there. Whereas we later found out from Christine that no, Janelle was going to go. And Christine had to bring her back to reality. She's still protecting him. I need you all to pay attention to the fact that Kody said that the deepest temptation that he had in his life was to stop trying to be good. I said it in other reviews. Why is being good something that he has to try to do? Why isn't this something that comes to him naturally? I believe that Kody has spent a good portion of his life putting on a facade for the people around him. Because he keeps talking about how he doesn't want the bird to see this and he doesn't want the bird to see that and he doesn't want her to see how dark he is and how right now he hates life. And as he's saying all these things, we then cut to Suki, who for some reason asked Mary of all people, why does she think that Kody is in such a dark place and why does he hate life right now? And I'm like, okay, so you're asking the woman who didn't even realize that the man was done with their marriage years ago why Kody feels this way? Suki. Mary says, I don't know why he hates life, but it shows. She can't allow it to affect her any longer, though. She has to step back and figure out her own stuff. And when she said this, I was like, okay, good for you, Mary. It's about time. Because for the longest time, the people have been more concerned about Mary than Mary has about herself. And we, the people, have been tired of trying to root for her. Me, myself, I go back and forth. Sometimes I feel sad for Mary and other times I'm like, okay, Mary, I can't do it with you this time. And right now, can't do it with Mary this time because Mary tolerates so much stuff and Mary still is very much bound to the bird because later on she talks about how her and the bird are friends and how she can trust her. After all of this, she's still telling us this crap. Is Mary playing a game? Is Mary trying to make them feel this way so that when she blindsides them and gets her money back, they don't see it coming? I don't know. I hope that's what it is, but it doesn't seem like it. This is where Robin then presents the idea that Kody is self-sabotaging. I don't see any of this as sabotage. I see it as Kody revealing who he is at his core. When things do not go his way, the bald eagle gets mad. He throws tantrums. He acts out. Robin is just beginning to get a taste because before he used to do this to his other wives, mainly Christine and Mary. Later on, it became Janelle. And now that Janelle is gone, he's doing it to her. Kody says that he admits to try to sabotaging his relationship. Robin says he does it by picking fights over dumb stuff. Robin, what do you think the other wives went through? This isn't him sabotaging. This is what he does. Welcome to what it felt like for your other sister wives to deal with your trash behind husband. The one who used to like to nitpick and poke and have his other wives like Christine walking on eggshells trying to make sure that they did the things that would make Kody happy, even if it was sacrificing their own happiness. Robin says at this point, they are in two different places. She's in a major place of mourning, and he's angry about the bomb that went off earlier in their family. I don't understand what Robin is mourning. It's been 2 years. What the hell is she mourning? And it's interesting that she says he's angry and she's mourning when in an article that I read on the most recent review that I did, People article, Kody says that they are talking about him and Robin are mourning. So the bird is already trying to disconnect in some ways from the bald eagle. As she's talking, she keeps doing this fake crying, but no tears are coming out. If you're gonna cry, commit to the role, por favor. Like, do it. Like, let's see it happen. He loves Robin, according to Kody, but he wanted to punish himself. He thought about leaving Robin, having another lover, looking at that woman and saying, I don't love you. I'm in love with the woman I left because I was a piece of crap that couldn't manage the relationships. Who in their right mind would think to do that or say that? You're admitting to being willing to use another woman to get what it was that you wanted out of her, and then tell her, I don't love you. I love the other woman. And I just slept with you because I'm a piece of crap. Come on. Like, it just like, this is the type of stuff that he does that just like, what are you trying to prove here? It makes no sense. He's just throwing whatever out there, and he thinks that it's some like we don't like you. We do not, let me not speak for you all. I don't like Kody. I don't like what he does. I don't like what he represents. I don't like who he is. I don't like what he's done to this family. I don't like how he's treated his children or his wives. I think he's very emotionally abusive, very mentally abusive, very harmful. He has caused all these different people to be damaged, all because he couldn't stand up and admit that this is not what he wanted. All because he was fulfilling a role and acting. He's affected all these other people because of his selfishness. So I get real irritated with Kody and how he's able to just throw anything out there, and how the people around him, production, Suki, the wives, how they manage to do this and deal with this man all this time, I do not know. They all deserve a bonus, minus the bird, because she signed up for this. Christine leaving made him angry, and he was very honest with the bird about that and shared the things that he was feeling with her without thinking. I don't think that Kody knows what honesty truly is, but we'll go with it because that's the narrative that he's pushing for the story. So his anger was scary for Robin. Robin then says that Kody is suspicious of all women, and as a result, he's being careful and he's being cautious with women. It makes no sense to me because the women didn't do things to him. He did things to the women. She says she's constantly working to make him believe that not all women are bad. So are we pushing this because we're trying to make it seem like Kody was damaged by what he experienced with his wives? Are we trying to act like Christine treated him so badly, or Janelle did? Because I don't understand the point of this statement. I feel like they are trying to put their own narratives in this by the things that they're saying, because please believe that the two of them sat down on Robin's perch and had a discussion about the things that they were going to talk about and how they were going to respond when it came to some of these questions, because it's not making sense to anybody but the feathered people. Okay. So Christine says that Robin's personality type loves drama and loves talking about drama. Cut that out. I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to skip that. Suki asked Janelle how she felt about him only worrying about Robin seeing the dark side. Janelle does what she does best, and she rides the middle, and she says, well, at that particular time, Robin was the only person that he was with. So a lot of the references are going to be towards Robin. And I'm like, okay, come on now, Janelle. you weren't apart from him that long. You still aren't even divorced. You're still using the term separated, which means there's a chance that you all may get back together because you've separated before. So you're still kind of being protective, okay? Janelle says she will admit that he is more protective over Robin. Janelle feels like he has framed Robin into this picture where she does no wrong and she does everything right. And as a result, if you ever disagree or you say anything about Robin, then you are being labeled as no longer safe and a bully. And he said the same thing about Christine. He called Christine a bully and said that Christine was unsafe. Everything for Kody means, like, loyalty is you agreeing with him. If you disagree with him, you're not loyal. Kody says that one of his kids during the pandemic complained about how he's always at Robin's house, and it's just not true. That this is something that the public and the tabloids and the sister wives have all done, and they've created this world where Robin is being blamed for everything, and it just makes him so angry. So he is at this point where if you have one complaint about her, he wanted to be like, shut up, and he wanted to punch you in the mouth. So because someone complains about your wife, you want to resort to violence. And he wants to call someone emotionally unsafe. This is what I'm talking about. Christine already said that you can't speak against Robin. And Janelle already said that you can't speak against Robin. But because Robin was compliant, Robin is loyal, and Robin is all things great. Suki says, you know that he feels like you, Christine, and Janelle are bullies. And Christine said, there were times where I had issues with Robin, but I spoke to her about it, and maybe I was a little too aggressive. We talked about it, and I thought that it was over, but then I'd hear about it again and again and again. And I wondered if she heard about it again from Robin, or if she heard about it again from Robin as well as Kody, because Kody did like to tell Christine that she wasn't treating her sister wives right. Of course, she heard about it again and again and again, because Robin gets off by being the victim, as well as having the bald eagle ensure that she is going to remain on that perch. So because she's hurting, because she's crying, because Christine is picking on her, her bald eagle is going to make sure she's safe. Christine said, I would think that we were fine and it was over, but it wouldn't be. Christine then dives into the personality test, which goes back to what I just said earlier. And I was like, no, let me save it for later, about the drama portion. And she said that she was so interested in the personality test that she, you know, began to dive into it. Whether you believe it or not, there is some truth to those personality tests. It does show you sometimes some of the characteristics of people. I have taken it myself. I have a book that really, really breaks it down. I mean, pages upon pages on my personality type. And when I read it, I had no problem embracing the good attributes. And even the bad ones, I struggle with. Like, it's human nature. You're not going to want to hear about the negative things about yourself, but you hear about it and you see if it's true or if it's not. And if it is, you adjust and move accordingly. But that's not what happened in this situation. What happened is her personality type, according to Christine, said that she loves drama and they like talking about their drama so other people can feel how they feel. She said on the flip side, they love listening to everybody's drama and they live for the connection with people over drama, which kind of explains why the bird might have wanted to be involved in everybody's talks with Kody, and why she speaks Kody, and why she always wants to know everything that's going on, and why she lies to her children and does the things that she does. The bird did not like being called out on her stuff, which now lets me know why in season 6, when this personality test happened, because I believe it was in season 6 when we were introduced to Nancy, where it was either 5 or 6. I think it's 6. I'm on 6 now, and we are seeing them meet with Nancy. But one of the things that I will say was that when Nancy did this personality test, She had them take the test. They all did it together in the same room. Even though Robin is later on saying that she didn't take the test, and if it says that, then somebody altered the test and took it as if they were her and all those other things. That's not what happened. They all were sitting in the room with Nancy. Nancy handed out the paper. They said they didn't want to take the test. Nancy said, I need all of you all to take the test. That way I can figure out some things about your personalities as well as how to deal with you. All of them have the test in their hand. Christine begins to read out each one of the questions, and they're told to fill out their answer quietly. So they all do it. At the end of the exercise, all the papers are handed to Nancy. Nancy does not review the results right then. Nancy does what all people in this field do, and they go back over, they add up the numbers, they look at the different columns, they look at the different areas because there's a breakdown of all these different areas. She looks at everything, and then she presents her findings to them at their next session when they went for a marriage retreat weekend with the wives and Cody and Sedona. So I don't know how Robin doesn't remember that, but I remember it. And I know some of you all do, but Robin said that she didn't remember taking it. Suki asked Janelle about it. Janelle says that she doesn't remember what everybody else says, but she does remember that hers says that she was the diplomat and the peacemaker, and she does agree that in her better moments, she is that person. Mary says she can't remember her personality type, but she did agree with what was said, and she felt like it was fairly accurate. Robin claims that she never took it. I already told you about that whole breakdown. The bird is now becoming a vulture because she's lying. She's lying in wait. She's sitting here trying to act like this is not something that happened. Then she talks about that whole thing. She goes, well, maybe I did. Then when Suki starts to describe the results and what it says and how she likes drama and it caused tension between the two of them, that's when she changes it back and says, oh, well, maybe somebody took the test for me. Christine says, I'm not friends with Robin because I don't trust her. She says one thing and does another. How can you say you want the family, but you don't consider the family as a bigger picture because you're part of the family, but you always want to do things separately with Cody? Christine is right. She says she will not have a relationship with her, and she admits to shutting it down because she saw early on that wasn't going to work. She's not blaming her for everything that went wrong in her marriage or other people's marriage. She said they all had a part in it, and they did, because at some point they all had the opportunity to leave, but they didn't. Mary says her and Robin are different because now she is friends with her ex-husband's wife. And I'm like, Mary, you've been friends with your ex-husband's wife. You've been an ex and a friend since the day that you signed that divorce paper and she legally married your husband. That's what happened. She says that she is closer to Jen. Jen is one of her best friends, her only best friend. That's somebody who loves her and cares about her and has not trash talked her. She supports her, and she cannot say the same thing about her sister wives because they have talked about her behind her back. She said Robin has her back, but she does not trust her, and Robin does not have her back. She said the part that makes her not trust her is the fact that during the catfish, Robin was talking to one of her friends that was feeding her misinformation about Mary, which caused her to pull back. Robin is asked this question, and she says her and Mary are close, that as far as she's concerned, there are no problems. There wasn't any problems with the relationship, and if it was in Mary's head. I don't believe that. With some prompting from Suki, the bird agrees to seeing how, with the way things were, it was a good idea for her to leave. Suki refers to Mary as the bird's ex-wife, and she begins her fake tears. She grabs her tissue, wipes tears that are not there, always makes the sounds. No tears come out. She puts the tissue under her leg and then grabs another tissue. She put the tissue under her leg. She didn't want us to see that the tissue was the same way that it was. She did all that folding and wiping and everything else. There was no difference in the tissue. She must have waterproof makeup on. I don't know, but there's nothing that ever happens to this white Kleenex that we're staring at. As I said, she hit it because it was dry. She's crying, and as she's crying, she's saying, this isn't me being dramatic. Thank you, Christine. So horrible for her to have said that. No tears. They talk about the gift exchange and how it got messed up all because of these text messages. We know it was such a horrible day for Robin. She says that they haven't wanted to be a family. Christine says she was not a part of the thread, but she saw it and it got out of hand to the point where, based on what Robin's kids were saying, that she feels like those kids need therapy. And I said it before, that they all need therapy. All of the kids, all of the wives. And I'm going to add that her kids definitely need therapy, having to deal with a mom like that. If you can ice out a biological father and erase him from his children before she even got married to Cody, she had those kids calling Cody daddy. We saw it on the show. We saw her correct Brianna when Brianna called him Cody. She said, daddy, pointing to the picture. Yes. If you can lie about that man taking your purity, imagine all the other things that she has done. She said the kids have always felt like they weren't apart from the very beginning. And she said she was being told that the kids hate her, but she wouldn't reveal who said it. This is coming from Robin. She claims that she wanted the video calls because she wanted her kids to know who the other kids were. But I feel like Robin should have did her part as well. You have family photos. Show the kids their siblings, because really this all comes down to Ari and Solomon, which, if truly who's a year apart from Solomon who can remember these kids, then this is your job as a parent to make sure that you remind them of who their siblings are. But once again, Robin has always been about her unit, not the whole. Janelle said that her children were all on the East Coast, so they didn't agree with jumping in on a late call at 9 o'clock. And then them saying that then blew up to Robin saying, you treat us so badly and I'm tired of working on this. We then see the kids see you treating us badly. I don't know how, you're going to say you're treated badly. We don't know how we're going to even have our own families. And I was like, I wish I knew which kids said that, but that because of the way Robin treated them, they don't want to have their own families. They tried to explain themselves, and then the other kids started mocking Robin's kids, and her kids felt ganged up on. They then told, according to Robin, her, that they don't feel emotionally safe to be a part of the gift exchange anymore. They talk just like Robin. She then tells them, the kids, I talked to your dad, and now we're just going to separate. We're going to do it separate. So Christine said the kids were upset, and there wasn't a major division, but now there's definitely one. Robin claims she went to Janelle and Christine saying a child of yours is being hard on children of mine. So she doesn't understand how they can sit there and say that they weren't aware that their kids felt this way for so long. And I go back to this being that victim mentality. I don't think that Robin was meant for plural family. Children picking on each other doesn't mean that they don't feel like you should have been a part of the family. I've got picked on by my cousins, and guess what? We're like this now, okay? We were raised, my first cousins, when we were younger, we were raised like siblings. And some of us used to really, really get into it. But at the end of the day, when stuff went down, we had each other's backs. And even now, even though a lot of us live in different states, when we get together, it's like we never parted ways. So Robin saying all of that, it's like, here you are playing the victim again. They had the kids telling them that they didn't belong, according to Robin, and they felt like they weren't a part of the family. Mary said that they all tried in different ways to make sure that they had them blended, but some people, multiple people, did feel like they should have worked on it more, felt like it was kind of forced. Janelle says that they didn't take time to listen to their kids, that their kids were just told to accept this woman and to accept these kids, to shut up and just merge. They didn't handle it correctly. I said it really early on. They didn't handle any of these mergers correctly, not even with the wives before children were involved. Christine says that as far as all of that's concerned, she does hope that they will fix things. At this point, she is not ready to fix things with the adults because of some of the outlandish things that are being said. I think so that's more so towards Cody and Robin, but she does want to eventually fix things with the kids. We finally get to hear about Christine's engagement to David. She met her soulmate online. His eyes are what caught her attention. He was charming and sweet. He said all the right things. They had more dates. She eventually was invited to his birthday, where she met the entire family because she wanted to see who he really was. On their fourth date, around a whole bunch of people, he pulled her in, wrapped his arm around her. She said her heartbeat felt differently. She felt differently. For the first time, she understood what it felt like to truly be loved without strings attached. For the first time, she doesn't have to do anything to earn it. Their first kiss was magical. It was a movie, and she felt hours and hours of goodness. He changed her view on love. She didn't go into it expecting forever. She just wanted to casually date, and she ended up finding what we hope is forever. She feels desired, and she loves being able to introduce him to people. That is the end of this review. I know there's some parts I stumbled over. There may be some parts I missed. As always, feel free to write your thoughts down in the comment section. I will make sure that I respond. Thank you so much, and until next time.